Hey everyone, welcome to episode 326, Other People's Opinions. Welcome to the Harmony in the Home podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hutchison. I'm a counselor, a life coach, and most importantly, an imperfect mom doing this work right along with you. And my goal on our podcast is to go from chaos to calm, feel less frazzled, and have more fun within your four walls to have more harmony in your home. Oh, you are going to love the clip that I found for you today about other people's opinions and how we hold ourselves back and project a lot of our insecurities onto other people, and how to not care what other people are thinking about you. You are going to love this episode, but before we begin, I want to talk to you about a sponsor of the show, which I've been talking about pretty much all of 2026, and that is letter writing. I'm still doing it, still loving it, still love teaching people how to do it as well. I have so many more companies that I write to now, so many more options and possibilities based on what your goals are. So when I first started, I had to wait a very long time for my first quote unquote drop, they're called. But now I have found companies that drop faster while you're waiting for your bigger drops. So if you're interested in letter writing, it's an awesome side gig to do on the side. It is not a job. It is not something that you quit your job and then you do this to pay your electric bill. This is fun money. It's side gig money. You don't get paid every Friday. You wait and pray for the drops, and when you get them, you get so excited, and they're so much fun. So it's for entertainment purposes, and it's an awesome side gig. And I really like the writing of the letters. It's a great way to disconnect. I like it. It's a great distraction for me. It's been great for my grief therapy. And I know if my dad was here, he would be so into this. He'd be sealing all my envelopes. He'd be stamping all my envelopes, because you can't really have someone else help you write. Because the reason why I first started this, want to know the backstory, is I wanted to see if it'd be a good gig for Lily to do when she turns 18. Because at the time she was, I think, 17 and a half. 17. And I was like, this would be a great side gig for her to do when she gets to college. And then also she can help me in the process. Like, she could write some, I could write some. Then I find out, no, you cannot have double writers on the same account. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. And then they changed the age for most of them to 21 after I'd already started and fallen in love with it. So I was like, I started this all for Lily, and now the age is 21. She can't really help me. Then I was like, oh, actually, she can help me. She can help me stamp. She can put stamps on. She can seal the envelopes. And also the pulling of codes, that's a bit monotonous, but you could have someone help pull codes as long as they're from your same IP address and using your device. But that's something you would learn in the training. But all that to say, if my dad was here, he would be pulling codes, sealing envelopes, finding cards for me on discount. Like, he'd be doing all the things. So I feel like when I'm doing it and then I'll be thinking about him, I'm like, Dad, you'd be so into this. And then all of a sudden, one of the codes is his birthday. It'll be like his birthday was August 31st. And so one of the codes will be 831 will be buried in the 9-digit code. So all that to say, it's been great for my grief therapy. It's lightened my load a lot because it's been such a great distraction. For me, it's very therapeutic to write, which I never knew that to be the case. Even though it is a lot of copy paste with your handwriting, it's not like you're doing creative writing. It's not that kind of writing. But I find it very therapeutic to disconnect, and it's a great distraction. And I feel like it's a healthy distraction because you have to stay, for me, I have to stay so focused on staying focused, if that makes sense. It's really good for my ADD too, because I'll set the timer and I'll say, okay, I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. I can get 3 cards done in 5 minutes. Ready, set, go. And then I'll set the timer on my watch for 5 minutes. And I try so hard to write legibly and beat the timer so it doesn't vibrate. I have an Apple Watch and I do not want it vibrating on my wrist. So I try so hard. I can get without pulling codes, I can get about 3 done in 5 minutes. So 3 cards. That's not the envelopes. So if I want to do card envelope, that's a different game. But I'm always playing that game where I might say, okay, like today I set the timer for 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get 5 done. And then I finished 5, and then I had a little extra spare time, so I didn't have it vibrate. It's almost like even though it's a little vibration, it's almost like shock therapy. I'm like, no, I cannot have it. I cannot have it. I don't want the buzzer to go off. It's like playing Operation. Okay, if you're interested, send me an email or click the link on the email that I sent you for the training that I did, which I thought was fabulous, and I think you will too. So we are going to listen to something that was going to completely rock your world. I found it on Instagram. I will link it in the show notes. Okay, it's from a page called Cloud Daddy, and then the screen name is Pissed Majestus. Pissedmagistus. And I haven't seen anything else other than this one. So I think you're going to like this one, just like I did.
How are some of y'all going around living life not caring what people think about you?
I remember that I don't actually know what you're thinking about me. I just know what I think you might be thinking about me, which means I'm creating a mean and judgmental version of you in my head and then using it to think mean things about myself. And since I made you mean in my head, then really I'm the one being judgmental of you, not the other way around. Now I just assume people are cool and that they're probably thinking nice things. And when they prove me wrong and start acting mean for no apparent reason, I remind myself that there's a version of me in their head that they are thinking mean things about that is in fact not me at all. Actually, it's a part of them. So really, they're being mean to themselves. It doesn't become me until I allow their perception and their treatment of me to start shaping the way I perceive and treat myself. You know, the Buddhists have a story about the Buddha teaching in front of a large crowd of people when a man shows up to heckle him by shouting loud and mean and obscene things. But the Buddha ignores him and just keeps teaching. The man, frustrated, doubles down and gets even more loud, even more mean, even more obscene. But the Buddha ignores him and just keeps teaching. Eventually, the man gets so frustrated, he breaks down and goes, "Hey, don't you even hear me? Why aren't you upset? I'm being so mean. I'm being such an..." Finally, the Buddha replies to the man and says, "If you give someone a lavish gift, but they refuse to accept it, who does that gift belong to?" The man says, "Well, obviously, it still belongs to me." The Buddha replies, "The same is true with your anger and with your insults. If I refuse to accept them, then they belong to you, not to me."
Ooh, isn't that so freeing to hear that? I loved so much when he said, "I don't actually know what you're thinking about me. So then I create a mean version of you in my head talking about me. So I'm actually the one doing the judging and the making the opinions." Oh, for some reason that just hit differently. I've heard that so many different times, but like, if you think someone's talking about you, they're actually, or thinking about you or judging you, it's literally your projection. It's our projection, because I do it too. It's our projection onto someone else. And we actually have no idea what other people are thinking about us. Because sometimes I think someone will be thinking someone, because the vibe that I'm getting from them, or like a mood or like an energy. Like one time I was at church and we were shaking hands for the meet and greet. And then someone turned around and they gave me a, I don't want to say cold greeting, but it was very stern. And I was like, "Oh, hi, peace be with you." You know, usually say peace be with you and always with you. And they turned around and they were like Grumposaurus. And I was like, "Peace be with you," with my happy, like probably annoying energy. And then they were very like flat affect and just like not that into me. And I was like, dang, what did I do to you, kind of thing? Who peed in your snowflakes, or who peed in your cornflakes this morning? And then a couple minutes go by and then they say, "Does anyone have any prayer requests?" And then the person, so I'm thinking, oh my God, they don't like me. What was I too cheery? I bet I was too cheery. This is what I'm thinking in my head. I bet I was too cheery. Kelly, you got to calm it down a little bit. You don't just have to be all high pitched when people are just doing peace be with you. Like, this is all running through my head. It's all very rapid fire, but as I'm retelling it, it sounds like it's a lot longer. I wasn't obsessing about it. I'm like, oh God, I guess he's not that into me. He's not being very friendly to me. And then I was thinking, oh, I bet I was too cheery. Oh, I bet I was annoying. Oh, geez, I need to calm it down. You know, and I'm going through all this thinking that he's thinking that I'm too cheery, which I probably was, but I'm projecting all of my insecurities onto him, and I'm making a mean version of him in my head and then putting thoughts in his head about what he's thinking about me. And I actually have no idea what he's thinking. About 10, 15 minutes go by, we go around and we do prayer requests. So at this church that I was going to, they pass around the microphone. Does anyone have any prayer requests? And so people will say, you know, I'm praying for a good school year for my kids, travel mercies for my friend. And then the guy in front of me, there were a couple, and he raised his hand and he said, "I would like to ask for prayers because I'm grieving because I just lost my mom." And I was like, last week. And I was like, oh my gosh, Kelly. Kelly, you're such a freaking Then I started talking to myself and I was like beating myself. I'm like, are you a narcissist, Kelly? Like, you do peace be with you and you make up this huge story that he's like, he doesn't like you because you were too cheery, and it has nothing to do with you, you narcissistic human being. That's what I was saying to myself. And I like laughed at myself because I made up this huge long story, which took 45 seconds of me thinking about it, maybe not even that long. And none of that was true. And even if it was, that's okay too. Listen, my voice is getting so high now. We create mean versions of other people in our head, and then we wonder why other people are being mean to us in their heads. It's all made up. And when you realize it's all made up, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm making all this up. And then when you're aware of it, like the famous lady who was always on Oprah, I can't think of her name right now, but she always says, when you know better, you do better. So this awareness is going to free you and realize that no one is thinking about you. You know what they're thinking about? They're thinking about what you're thinking about them. And they're making mean versions of you in their head and projecting all of that onto them. Guess what the next person's doing? Making a mean version of you in their head and then projecting that onto themselves, going, why is that person so rude to me? And then they're looking for evidence of like, yep, they don't like me. And just like they said in the video, like, I just assume everybody's cool and everyone's like really into me. And when they're showing me that they're not, I just give them a little distance. That's why I love the Saturn approach with people, because then you can like give the grain of salt based on where they are on Saturn. And it's okay to move people around your Saturn. Nothing will go wrong. We just don't want to spend all of our time thinking that other people are thinking negative things about us, because it's probably just the opposite. And most of the time, it's not even the opposite. It's that no one is thinking anything about us. And it's none of our business what other people think about us. That's very freeing to hear that. And it's not happening. I really like that thought. So you want to have a lot of mantras, because mantras really help. It's not my business what other people think. I'm not going to create a mean version of someone else in their head about me. No one's thinking about me as much as I think they are, because they're thinking about what other people are thinking about them, and so on and so forth. It goes down the line. This will help you so much and be so freeing to realize that it's not even happening. And just like they talked about in the Buddha and giving the gift, you don't have to take the gift. Just like when someone has road rage against me, I just wave. I'm like, I probably did mess up. I'm sorry. And then there's no rope to tug. There's no tug of war. I'm not doing it back to them. I'm blessing and releasing. I'm not accepting the gift of anger, even though I was probably wrong. And sometimes I'm not wrong and they're just mad, and that's okay. I've had other people not do something wrong and I'm still mad, because sometimes I just feel mad and I don't know why. And other people, they're going to feel mad and they don't know why. Or they know why and it has nothing to do with you and you're just the dog to kick. And it might be you that's making them mad. And guess what? They're going to be okay. Because guess what? You've been mad at other people before and you've survived to tell about it. It's okay for people to be mad at you. It's okay for people to be disappointed in you. It's okay for people to be upset with you. As long as you know your side of the street is clean, you're doing your best. You will still, even though when you're doing your best, you're still going to make people upset. And that's okay. Because you've been upset before with other people and you've lived to tell about it. You didn't shrink into a shrinking violet. It's all going to be okay. We don't have to be perfect. We're shooting for B-. When we let go of that perfection, life becomes a lot more fun, because you know you're doing your best and you're going to mess up sometimes and you're going to slip up, and that's okay. Just like everybody else is doing their best and they're going to mess up and they're going to slip up, and that's okay. And when we lean into that human experience, then we're not so upset and shocked and freaked out and, oh my gosh, they're overreacting and this is happening, that's happening. It's like, of course that's happening. It happens to me, it happens to them. It's just their turn. They took the ticket at the deli counter. So let me know what you think about this clip that I found, which I'm totally obsessed with, and how this is helping you to have more freedom in your life. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hey mamas, thanks for listening. If you had any ahas, clicks, or those lightning bolt moments while listening, you have to check out my free parenting bootcamp, where we take all of this to the next level and we try to create even more awakenings for ourselves so that we can connect more with our kids and never yell at them again. You can sign up at www.coachingkelly.com. And if you really want to fill up my love cup, send me an email of what your aha was, what your click was. What was that lightning bolt moment while you were listening? I want nothing more in life than for you to have harmony in your home and to learn how to be an imperfect mom like me, which allows your kids to be imperfect too, each and every day. Thanks for listening.